I want to take you through a quick video of how to do a quadratic regression using delta math. Also something to talk about in class, but in case you need a little extra help with this, I want to run through one more. So the idea is that sometimes data doesn't fall into a linear pattern. So if you look at a scatter plot of data, instead of seeing something that's linear, you're going to see something that looks more like a parabola. Often it looks almost like a rainbow where you have something that goes back up and then it comes back down. A lot of the problems are things where you're like shooting something off. This is a rocket being shot off, or throwing a ball up into the air where it has very much of a parabolic pattern. So to do this, you want to find the parabola of best fit or the quadratic of best fit instead of the line of best fit. Delta Math makes this so easy because it takes all of your data and puts it in a calculator for you. So this is what you'll be given. So this particular question says that we are looking at the different time after a rocket has been shot off from a launcher, and then the height it is and in feet at that time. So after 0.5 seconds have gone by, it's at a height of 63. And you can see it kind of go up, and then eventually, obviously, it will go back down. And we're going to come up with the equation for the quadratic regression, which is just your line of your quadratic of best fit. And then we're going to use that equation to figure out at time 1.8, how high would the rocket be. So to do this on Delta Math, you're going to hit copy values for calculator. And then you're going to open your statistics calculator. If you hit paste values, it's going to take all those values that were on the previous screen and put it in there. And then when you go to edit list, you're going to go to the calculate menu. And you're going to choose the one that has quad in front of the regression. This is quadratic regression. It does not matter if you keep the diagnostic on or off. We don't need that information. When you hit calculate, it's going to remind you how you write the formula for a quadratic, the ax squared plus bx plus c. It'll be in standard form. And then it's going to give you your a, your b, and your c. Now, what you're going to want to do is have like a piece of paper next to you so you could jot these numbers down. It did say round to the nearest hundredth. You want to make sure when you're reading the question, and you can go back to the question just by showing tabs, it says rounding all coefficients to the nearest hundredth. So you're going to go back here and you're going to write down that your A value is negative 17.90, your B value is 139.90, and your C value is negative 2.53. So again, all to two decimal places. That's what hundredth means. So when it asks for you for your regression equation, you're going to type in y equals negative 17.90x squared. And then your next one is plus 139.90x, and then plus minus, the last one is negative 2.53. Some things about this, what this is telling you is it's negative because it's a parabola that is opening downward, which makes sense if you think of the path of a rocket. And you're also, this value at the end, your y-intercept, is giving you an idea of the height that it started out as. So that's what that number represents. And then finally, it wants to know what your height would be to the nearest foot, so the nearest whole number, when it's 1.8 seconds. So now you're going to want to grab your calculator, and you're going to want to type in negative 17.90, or just 9.9 times, and you're going to put 1.8 in squared. You don't have to use parentheses. I often do just to kind of show that that's where I plugged it in. Plus 139.90 times 1.8. So you're putting a 1.8 everywhere you see an X. And then minus 2.53. It does want your answer to the nearest whole number, to the nearest foot. So we're going to just put 191. And that answer makes sense because if you look back to your table, at 1.9 is about 200. So the idea at 1.8, it's around 191 with this best fitting parabola, would be an answer that would seem very valid. We're going to type it in, and there we go. And this will just show you when you get your answer, not only will it show you your A, B, and C, and if you want to look at a sample problem, you can see this as well. It will also show you how you take that number and plug in the 1.8 with that equation, and it'll even show you what the parabola looks like. The idea of, here's your data points there in yellow. The green one is the prediction that you got from that parabola to get your answer. So that's just a quick rundown of how you use the Delta Math program to do a quadratic regression.